Hi, thanks for joining us today. We are the Master of Arts in Educational Technology program, or you'll hear us refer to it as the MAET program at Michigan State University. Today, we're going to do some introductions, provide a program overview, discuss program costs, share the student experience, and answer any questions you have. We've had some questions come in with your registration, and we've included those in the relevant parts of our presentation. If any new questions come up at any point, or if you want further clarification on anything, please feel free to use the chat or the Q&A throughout our time together. First, we want to say thank you so much. We know how busy you are and how full your schedules are, so thank you for choosing to share this time with us today. I'm Candace Robertson. I'm the Assistant Director of Student Experience and Outreach. I am the one with curly brown hair and wearing glasses in this team photo here. My pronouns are she, her. Also on our team is Heather Williamson. She's our academic program coordinator. You will contact and be in contact with Heather all throughout your application phase of your journey. Her pronouns are she, her. And then we have Brittany Dillman. She is our graduate certificate program coordinator and director. And she has short blonde hair, and her pronouns are she, her. And then we have Liz Bolts, who is our program director, and she has red hair, and her pronouns are she, her. So you will work with all of us throughout your time in the program and beyond, and we are so delighted and happy to connect with you. One of my favorite parts of my role as the Assistant Director of Student Experience and Outreach is that I get the opportunity to advise all of our MAET learners. So from this point and beyond, we are now connected, and I would be the one who would be supporting you through successes and challenges and celebrations during your time in the program and beyond. And it is just my absolute favorite part of my job. So, a little bit about us as a program. We're a global community of graduate learners. Most of our learners are working professionals who are working full time, and we have two program modalities. So, throughout the year, we have our online courses running. So, you can participate in asynchronous learning throughout the year, fall, spring, or summer. And then in the summer, we have a special face to face opportunity that any of our MAET learners are able to leverage in their program plan. And that's overseas in Galway, Ireland. That's 2 weeks, and you take two courses in those 2 weeks. So, a question that came in was what modalities are available? And that would be the answers. We have a fully online program that you can complete fully online, or you can integrate an overseas experience or two into your overall MAET experience. You cannot complete it fully overseas in Galway, Ireland. You can only take a certain amount of credits. So you can just spend 2 summers in Galway. The rest of your courses would be completed online. And I'll kind of take you through that in an example course plan later today. And then another question was, can I do this degree in person? Nope, we do not have a face-to-face program. We do have this face-to-face experience through education abroad in the summer for 2 weeks, but the majority of our program is completed online. Our working mission is that through engaging quality learning experiences that focus on practice and creative uses of technology, we will empower educators and designers to develop a critical lens, promote equity, think in new ways, and become transformational leaders. Our core principles in MAET are to provide support from application to beyond graduation, valuing diversity of perspectives, resources, and communities, and promoting growth as curious learners and transformational leaders. Now we'll move on to the program overview. So, MAET is a 30 credit master's program. That means that you take 10 courses to earn your master's degree. We are a non thesis program. So, throughout your time in MAET, you build a website portfolio. And then in that capstone final experience, you reflect on your growth through MAET, who you are as an educational technology leader, and fine tune your website portfolio to reflect that. So it's more of a synthesizing your experiences as an MAET learner and a future educational technology leader. As a part of those 10 courses, you can earn graduate certificates. So you can kind of think of those as stackable credentials almost. So within those 10 courses, you also have the ability to earn a graduate certificate in educational technology, a graduate certificate in K-12 computer science education, or a graduate certificate in online teaching and learning. And these are just extra credentials for you to think about as specializations in your master's degree learning journey. Most of our students try to earn one or two graduate certificates within those 10 courses toward their master's degree. In MAET, we explore learning theories and frameworks. We create powerful solutions to support teaching and learning, and we share with our innovative global network. We have current students and graduates all over the world. And once you're part of the MAET community, it can be a really powerful and transformational experience to share perspectives with educators around the world. Throughout your time in MAET, we use an ungrading philosophy. What that means is that this allows us the opportunity to push on some of the oppressive structures within education, like the traditional grading scale and grading system, and also allows us to further align with our philosophy of assessment and what we know about adult learners. So you begin with a 4.0. And then throughout your time in the course, you'll have due dates, you will have rubrics and checklists and wonderful scaffolding to support your creations and your assignments. You'll submit those. Your instructor is going to give you incredibly individualized, robust feedback. And then you're going to iterate and make improvements on all of your assignments. And then you maintain that 4.0. So, because we are a part of a system that does have grades, you still have these grades. If at any point you were at risk to lose that 4.0 or for that grade to be decreased, your instructor would reach out to you proactively to let you know. But again, it's just this philosophy that you're going to be iterating and improving your own learning because we know you care about that and you will have clear expectations to meet as well. There's just no individual points on any of the rubrics in the course because we are really focused on what are the clear expectations and helping you to achieve those. Now we'll transition over to program costs. The tuition rate for online master's courses in the College of Education is $933 per credit hour. So when we look at all 10 courses or all 30 credits, the total MAET program cost is 27,990 US dollars. On this slide are three buttons because one question we have is what funding opportunities are there? So we have our tuition page, which breaks this down. We have MAET's curated funding resources. So our students, we always support our students who are seeking fellowships or assistantships or scholarships through various organizations. And so, as the advisor, I often am the one who's writing the letters of recommendation, providing the materials that are required for that application process. So, this curated list are a compilation of awards that our students have earned so that you have somewhere to start in your searching journey for possible funding opportunities. And then also is a button to the financial aid office at Michigan State University. They're a wonderful resource for answering any detailed questions around financial aid. Another question came up, is there funding for international students? Something important to note is that we are not eligible for F1 or J1 visas because our program can be completed fully online. But we do have an office for international students and scholars, and I'll drop that link in the chat for you. And they are a wonderful resource for looking at potential funding opportunities and what eligibility our international students have. If at any point you can apply for funding, if your employer provides any tuition reimbursement benefits, things of that nature, please let me know and I will support you in however I can. Sometimes school districts need a letter or a fact sheet about our program or things like that. I will absolutely document anything. I will write a letter of recommendation for you for whatever it is. So please never hesitate to reach out. I love supporting you in that way. And then soon we'll talk about our overseas program as well through education abroad. That tuition rate is the same. It is 6 credits in those 2 weeks that you are fully face to face in Ireland. And that total tuition cost is 5,598 US dollars. Then there is a program fee that includes your housing, your lunch on campus Monday through Friday, excursions, your classroom materials. It does not include travel from wherever you're located to Galway, Ireland. And that is on a scale depending on how many learners are taking the trip to Ireland that summer. So the base range is around $2,300 to $3,935. So that is confirmed as we get closer to that overseas. So those are the two fees associated with the overseas semester. And then what we want to make sure, and we'll talk about this at the end, is the Office of Education Abroad has scholarships as well. So if you want to participate in our overseas cohort, you'll just make that really clear to us when we're working on advising and things like that. Then we'll make sure you apply to education abroad before February 15th so that you can be eligible for their scholarships. But first step is to apply to MAET. Now, let's talk about the student experience a bit. So, our goal is to give you well supported advising that is focused on your goals and kind of comes from this advising foundation through your instruction and beyond. And that is really going to be hopefully a really beautiful part of your MAET experience is that your instructors are going to get to know you so well. I am going to get to know you so well. We are all here to support you and your growth in your graduate learner experience. So, across modalities, whether you are fully online or taking part in some of this summer overseas learning, you will have learning activities and creations. Those are your assignments that are purposefully designed to be applicable to your professional context. Our goal is to take theory and connect it to your practice. We want to help you build that into your practice to increase all the potential for you as an educator and designer and for your learners. So on the screen are two screenshots. One is it has purple kind of boxes and it looks like a table. And when you start every course, your instructors are going to ask you a bit about yourself. They're going to ask you about your context professionally. They're going to ask you about your goals as a graduate learner. And that's going to really guide the feedback that they provide you because they're going to really think about who you are and what your growth goals are and how they can support it through this course that you're in. And then another screenshot that's on the screen is an example of a discussion prompt and a reflection prompt in your course experience. And it's highlighted that we're asking you after you review these resources to think about what does this mean for your context? What does this mean for your learners in your community? So we're always going to be prompting you and helping you to make those connections. Across modalities, everything in MAET is going to be intentional. It's going to be planned. You're going to have high instructor presence and you're going to have flexibility in your creations. So, what does that look like online? You're going to learn and create across mediums. And on the screen are a few pictures of different artifacts that learners have created in our online courses. You'll notice it's from, paper towel rolls to videos to Padlets and handwritten notes to websites because we really believe in critically evaluating the technology based on the outcome. And that's something you'll learn a lot about through your MAET experience. So, our courses are fully accessible, and we're very humbled that they are award winning. There's asynchronous opportunities that have brief interactive synchronous connections as options in many of our courses. Courses follow our program's explore, create, share structure and are facilitated by instructors with robust online teaching experience and a dedication for supporting all learners. On your screen is a course offerings by semester table that we will use when we are matching you to the courses for your course plan. And then there are three buttons. One takes you to our courses page so that you can preview descriptions of each course. And then we have a video that provides an overview of how we use our learning management system, D2L, for our courses and provide consistency across your experience. And then we provide a video that showcases an example MAET course experience for you. So that's there for you to explore later. And something to clarify is that um, our courses, as they are asynchronous, they do have due dates throughout the course to help pace everyone so that everyone's moving at the same time and keeping on top of all of the things going on in the courses. So there are due dates within and throughout the course as well. And then here is some feedback from one of our fully online learners. I often tell people that what you'd expect from an ed tech program would be just sharing apps and learning how to use them. This program is so much more than that. It challenges your thinking, pushes you outside your comfort zone in the best way, allows you to focus on the needs within your own context, and offers tremendous support. We feel really thankful that this is what some of our graduates say about our program. Now, what does it look like if you want to include some one or two summers overseas? So in Galway, Ireland, our learners meet for 2 weeks in a fully face-to-face model in the summer. And there's a button that will take you to the summer overseas page. A question that came in was, can overseas students come to MSU for graduation? Yes, absolutely. Our fully online students and our online students who participate in education abroad in Galway, Ireland, can all come to campus and celebrate during commencements. And we have a gathering usually as a department, and we get to welcome all of our learners. And it is just a truly fun time to get the opportunity to celebrate with you in person. Of course, if you're not able to come to campus, we love celebrating with you virtually as well. So, what can you expect if you participate in the overseas face to face 2 week experience? Class starts in the morning, and then you might have some readings and discussions by the river. Where it is in Galway is at the University of Galway. And there's a river that runs right along. So we like to go outside, take in all of the nature and beauty of Ireland. You might then go to lunch at noon. Everybody goes together. That's included, remember, in that fee. And then you come back to class. You might be working on a group project. Class wraps up, and your instructors are going to be there for some open office hours to help guide you. And then maybe that evening at 7 p.m., let's say, you've all decided to take a baking class in town. So it's a very intense experience because you're taking 6 credits in 2 weeks. And we also make sure that you're exploring Galway and getting to make those connections in Ireland and getting to take in the amazing culture and history and art that are all available in Galway. It is a big little city and full of creativity. And so it really is a magical experience. So everything you're going to be doing in class is going to be hands-on. It's going to be a very active learning day that's going to leverage the fact that you're in Ireland as well. And then our learners all stay together in shared apartments. So that means that you have a private bedroom, you have a private bathroom with a shower, and then you have a shared living room and kitchen space. It's usually about 4 to 6 of our learners in one apartment. So all bedrooms and bathrooms have doors that lock so that everything is private there. And it's just that your shared living room and kitchen are available. All linens, all cooking materials are all provided. So you will just be bringing your suitcase and self, and then everything else is there for you. And so everything on campus is incredibly new and well kept. So it is definitely a lot different if you went to a US university than that dorm life and experience for sure. Our summer 2026 um, courses are CEP 810, Teaching for Understanding with Technology, and CEP 811, Adapting Innovative Technologies to Education. The following summer, 2027, we have two different courses, so that's why you can participate in up to two summers overseas. Our tentative dates for summer 2026 are July 5th through July 18th, 2026. And then on this screen, we have one of our graduates who participated in our overseas experience. She made this video that speaks to her overseas experience and more broadly, her outcomes of MAET and as alumni as well. So this video is here for you to preview later, but we really think it's important to include our student perspective because student experience is so important to us. So, what might that student experience look like and shape up as? Well, let's say that you start in the fall semester. As we were talking about earlier with these graduate certificates, one popular kind of pathway is that people earn a graduate certificate in ed tech, a graduate certificate in online teaching and learning, and their MAET degree. So that's all happening within 10 courses. So let's say you start in the fall. You'll notice that you're going to complete one, two, three, four, 5 semesters. You're going to take 2 courses each semester, and you will graduate in spring 2027. So that would be a fully online route. But what does that shape up like if you want to take part of one semester overseas? It is the same exact path and plan almost in terms of timing of semesters. Your courses are going to kind of end up a little bit different in the timing that they fall into the sequence because that summer 2026, you're going to be overseas for 2 weeks, and those are predetermined courses. So we just need to align with those. But 5 semesters in a row consecutively, about a year and a half to complete your degree. And then what if you want to do 2 summers overseas? You'll notice here the difference is that you're going to complete your degree in 4 semesters. And so you're taking fewer semesters because when you're overseas, you can actually take a course online as well. So that starts earlier in the summer, and then you're able to manage that, I promise, while you're overseas because you'll be able to get everything that you need. Kind of, you'll work ahead a little bit to get it done. And then that's the same with that following summer. So here you'll notice you go fall, spring, summer. Then you're going to take off fall and spring, and you'll graduate in summer 2027. So those are the same exact courses, 3 different ways. There is a lot of flexibility in the MAET degree. So you'll be able to, I would customize that with you. If you are an undergrad who graduated from MSU's teaching internship program, we are able to transfer in 9 courses that you had in that experience. If those courses are eligible based on timelines, so you'd reach out to me and we would make sure that everything is set up and that we're able to transfer those in. So please contact me and I can verify that for you. A question that came in is what is the duration or time frame to complete the program? And that would be generally 5 semesters. So if you started this summer and you went straight through, like in this example, you would graduate in fall 2026. So if you started in fall 2025, you would graduate in spring 2027. So that's about a year and a half to earn your master's degree. And I did want to loop back to those transfer credits if you are a graduate of MSU's teacher preparation program. With those credits, you of course would take 3 of these courses out if your courses were approved to transfer in. One question that came up was, what are the career prospects after completing the program? So on our website, we have an alumni and career spotlight section. And that is going to provide information. A lot of our graduates stay in K-12 in some capacity, whether that be in the classroom. Many move on to leadership roles that are like instructional technology coaches, innovation specialists, content specialists. Some folks go outside of traditional K-12 settings and they become instructional designers in higher education or in the corporate sector. They become media specialists for different companies and corporations. They become HR training managers. There is a ton of flexibility inside. We just had a graduate who's now a digital marketing specialist. So there's a ton of flexibility in your MAET degree. And I would guide you through any career transitions with resume support and mock interviews and things like that. So, as attendees of this webinar, your application fee of $65 will be waived. You'll get information on this via an email. Our application due dates, if you'd like to start this fall, it is August 1st. If you want to start this spring, it is December 1st. If you want to start summer overseas, we recommend that you apply by February 1st to MAET because we want to make sure that you get into Education Abroad's application by that February 15th due date so that you can be eligible for their scholarships. And then if you want to start the summer semester online, that is April 1st. On this screen are two buttons. It takes you to the MAET application page with all of the details and then a guide that we have if you're a checklist kind of person, because I am a checklist kind of person. And so we have kind of some step-by-step instructions for you there as well. In terms of your application materials, you'll need to submit two professional references. So you'll submit their names and email addresses. They will be sent an email that will prompt them to provide a reference for you. You'll submit a personal statement, a university application, a CV or your resume, and then your official transcripts from any degree granting institution. So that's typically maybe your undergraduate university or college institution, and then anywhere else that you've earned another degree or credential of that nature. So a question came in. Are there any tips you can provide for tackling the essay response? So that personal statement. And here is my guidance. I think people take the personal statement and it's three questions and they turn it into this very big thing. And really, we're just asking you the three questions because we want to get to know you. A master's degree is a large investment. We want to make sure that we can meet your needs and your goals. And we want to make sure that we're the right fit for you because we will always look out for you. And then we want to get to know you a bit. So I would approach this by setting a timer, responding to those three questions just very genuinely, and then go back and revise it. And you can let it simmer, but this shouldn't be a 2 week writing project. This should be a couple of hours to just share a bit about yourself and your goals. And I think because sometimes people overdo it, I think sometimes there's some nervousness around applying to a graduate program. And like, I'm one of the people on the other side. I don't review applications because of my role as advisor, but I get to read all of them after. But it's like people like me. It's Liz who's reviewing your application. It's Heather who's going to support you along the way. We are humans, thinking about you as humans. So try to alleviate yourself of that pressure and stress and just let us get to know you and let us help to make sure that you're making the right decision too and what graduate program you've selected. And I think because people turn it into this and people can turn it into a large to do, they lose the sight of those three questions. And so I would just really make sure that you're answering the three questions. If you have any other questions, I will stay online to be sure to answer them. As we are leaving, you can submit an overseas interest form by following this button. You can join Heather for open office hours to work on your application or ask any questions. You can also email any of us at any point in time. And then you can also schedule a pre-admissions advising meeting with me that's one-on-one. So I would say what's next for you? Maybe a pre-admissions advising meeting to work on your application or dropping into Heather's open office hours or sending us an email so that we can best help you as you start your application journey to MAET. If you need anything, please always know that you can reach out to us at edutech@msu.edu. We are so thankful to share this space with you today, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.